What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Single Guy channel. My name is Lloyd. We're going to be talking about the worst places to meet women. So when guys typically get into this stuff, they're like, where do I meet women? I don't know where to go. So they will try some of these places, but unfortunately, most of them are not good at all, okay? I never see guys get success in these particular areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you those 5 areas that I typically see most common, and I might mention a few other ones, and I'm going to tell you what is a better replacement for you to go to instead of that. Or maybe you can change it around a little bit so it can be effective for you. So we're gonna get right into it. Number 1 is gonna be speed dating events. Speed dating events, this could also be considered singles mixers, those kinds of things. So we have a lot of people that when they first come to my program, they start looking for those, they get notified about them. Sometimes women even contact them to go to them. And it seems, okay, great, I'll talk to a few women, we'll see if they like me, we'll see if they don't. Look, if you wanna go, you can, but only you should go if you want to improve your speaking skills. Just get used to talking to women or get used to women showing interest towards you. And that will be the best thing that you can get out of this. I've never really seen anybody get a girlfriend from it. I've seen maybe a couple of my clients, they get laid from it, but it's not usually with a woman who they're really excited about. What'll typically happen is you'll talk to a lot of different women, and the ones who you really like won't be into you, and the ones who you're like kind of don't really care about, they'll be the ones who choose you, or no one will choose you, okay? Because it's a really short amount of time to make an impression on somebody. So the best reason that I see for men to go is to practice being an attractive guy, because typically you're not gonna meet too many women who you're really that interested in, who are gonna like you back. But I think it's fun for go, especially if you're a beginner guy who hasn't much experience with women, you're not used to doing that. I recommend that you go for that. But don't think that you're gonna meet someone that's gonna be your future girlfriend there. Number 2, we have nightclubs. So I had a guy who came into my program. He was 45 years old. He was balding, and when he first started the program, we do our typical meeting, and then as soon as he got in there, within like a day or two, he was going to nightclubs every single night. And he would come back from these nightclubs and he would be like, yeah, I'm just like having trouble getting a little bit of traction, with women. It's really hard, and I haven't gone to these things in 20 years. And so I looked at him and I'm like, do you actually want to go to these places? And he's like, no, but that's where all the women are. Like, where else am I supposed to go? And this is the very common answer for why I see people choose nightclubs, because they don't know where else to go. When you go to a nightclub, there's tons of hot women there, right? So that should be where you go to get the women. And I've heard a lot of other dating coaches talk about how nightclubs are great to go. You won't hear from me, and you won't hear from a lot of the other people that I would recommend, okay? Nightclubs are only good if you show up with a bunch of women. It's good if you like the music, if you like nightclubs, if you like loud environments where you stay up all night drinking. If you're into party mode, nightclubs can work for you. Oh, and the other exception is if you're a really tall, giant dude with a great body. Then you can probably pick up a girl at a nightclub. For everybody else, nightclubs are a waste of time. If you're going in there thinking you're gonna pick up a girl, that is a complete waste of your time. My client who came in at 45 years old, going to nightclubs, like, what are you doing, homie? So we picked better areas for him to go out to. Okay, what's better than a nightclub? Honestly, a bar. A bar is better than a nightclub. And in fact, I wouldn't choose just any bar. If you choose just like a dive bar with a plastic cup and all that stuff, look, if you want to get drunk at 22 years old and, maybe you'll stumble into somebody or something like that, dive bars can be okay. I used to go to dive bars all day when I was in my mid-20s. Okay, I'm not going to dive bars anymore. I will go to a lounge, I will go to a rooftop bar, I will go to one of those places. And I won't be like talking to a bunch of people at those places. I will be talking to a few different people. I'll be making friends at the bar, whoever. But this is a classier joint that you're probably gonna find someone you can have an actual conversation with. The problem with nightclubs is it's too loud. I mean, if you talk loudly and slowly enough, people can hear you, but most of the time they can't, and most of the time they're just there to get messed up, to go with the music, and unless you have a table or something like that, or you're a really good-looking guy, or have a lot of social proof, there's no reason to go there. Go to a rooftop bar, go to a better area where you can, actually meet people if you want to get a drink and go out at night. But me personally, I think it's better to meet women during the day. I think it's better to meet people at some crafted parties. Those places are gonna be a little bit better for you because women are actually gonna want to talk to you. At nightclubs, women are just trying to avoid you, but it's the most common thing that people choose. Number 3, yoga classes. This is another one that I see a lot of guys do. They go to yoga classes. Why do they go there? Because tons of women go to yoga classes. If you have not done yoga before, if it is not something that you really enjoy doing, meaning if there was no hot chicks there, you would still go and do it. then yoga is a great place because you're going to stick with it. You're going to be a part of the community. I would encourage you to lean into the niche and actually become an instructor so you have some sort of authority about it. But if you aren't that into it to where you are motivated to become maybe even an instructor, yoga is not worth it, dude. Women are not going to be like super open to you trying to hit on them after, you know, a yoga workout or whatever. I mean, people are doing weird positions, they're doing downward dog. And there's always that creepy guy at the yoga studio that women don't really like that he's there. I don't recommend yoga for most guys to meet women. If you want to meet women in classes, if you want to meet women doing something physical, dude, I have a whole list in my school group that you can check out right now down below that will tell you the places to go. I'll give you one that works really well. HIIT classes are small group training classes where you're doing like strength training, a little bit of endurance too. Those kinds do a lot better because it's more social. In yoga, people are like in their Zen state or whatever. You know, I had one client who would go to a lot of these types of things. And yeah, sure, there was a lot of hot women around, and the first time he went, it was great. But 3 weeks in, he's like, I don't know what, I can't have conversations with people. People just pick up the yoga mat and they don't even want to talk to me. Yeah, that's usually how it is. Now, there are some social yoga events that you can go to, but the generic classes are not going to be as good as those, okay? And most guys sign up for them, and if they're not into yoga, almost never works. Don't be that creepy guy at the yoga classes just there to pick up chicks. Beginner salsa classes right here. Beginner salsa classes, I always hear this. We're like, you know what? I was thinking of signing up for some salsa classes. Yeah, there's partner dancing there. It's usually something that women enjoy doing. Not a great place for most guys who are starting out to meet women. I'll tell you when salsa does get good. When salsa, by the way, bachata is better than salsa. If you want to dance that is a little bit better, bachata, but even then, I would encourage you to only join if you are serious about actually getting good. If you like the music, you like the beat, you actually enjoy it, then take salsa classes. Don't just do it to meet women. If you just do it to meet women, you have the same problem as here. Women don't want to get with the beginner guy at salsa class. Believe it or not, if you're really good at salsa, it helps. Like if you get up to intermediate and beyond, oh my God, it's a gold mine. But beginner, no. Beginner salsa classes are not good. Everybody has 2 left feet and you're kind of just like awkwardly trying to dance and trying to pick up a girl that way. It just doesn't make you look good. You want to pick environments where the odds are in your favor. And if you don't know how to dance and you don't have rhythm, this is not an area to go into. But as I said, if you stick with it and get up past the intermediate level, it's a freaking gold mine because it's mostly women. You know how to lead, you're confident, all of that stuff is good. The problem with a lot of guys is they are not going to stick to this for long enough or like it enough to get there. Number 5, malls, coffee shops. Believe it or not, I do recommend that guys regularly go into coffee shops instead of making a coffee at home. It helps you get out, it helps you get social, it helps you talk to some people. The problem that I see though is that a lot of guys will only use coffee shops to meet women, or they'll go out to a mall for 5 hours and try and cold approach women. I did this when I was 16 years old because I literally couldn't get anywhere else. If you can't get into anywhere else, yeah, sure, try and pick up a girl at the mall. But for most guys, it's really weird walking around a mall trying to figure out something, you know, to say to somebody. You might end up talking to a girl who's like with her mom. You might end up, you know, interrupting a family. It just feels a little bit weird. But if you have your own agenda and you have your own thing that you're planning on doing, if you're going in to get a shirt anyway, yeah, start a conversation with somebody. But don't specifically go here to try and pick up tons of women. I make excuses to go out, but I'm always doing something while I do it. If you just tell yourself, I'm gonna go out into a mall for 6 hours to try and cold approach, pick up women, that's not a good use of your time. And most of those interactions are not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna feel really weird. But if you happen to be there shopping, I've picked up girls in the mall all the time too. You know, I might just start a conversation with somebody, figure out what they're up to. I'll tell them what I'm shopping for, whether it's like a Christmas gift or trying to buy a present for my grandmother or something like that. And then I actually invite them to come along shopping with me. I had that happen where I sat down next to a girl, we started talking, I invited her to help me out. I was trying to pick out a present for my mom. And she basically came along and helped. She helped me pick out a present for my mom. I got her number afterwards, and then we met up later. It was great. If that happens, you can do it. But don't go around to malls. Don't go around to any public spaces in general, just walking around for 6 hours trying to pick up women. You should make this a part of your schedule. You should make this just a daily habit that you have to get out and do things and not make women the primary focus all the time. The problem with, you know, a lot of these things is that guys make the primary focus of why they're doing it the women. And if you make the primary focus women, then what's going to happen is that's going to push them away. Whenever you focus on women too much, they run away from you. So you have to be doing something else first. If you're going out at night, what's the first thing you're doing? Your first thing you're doing is having fun, then comes the women. If you're going out shopping, the first thing is I'm getting my shopping done. And if there's cute girls there, great, maybe I'll talk to a few of them. So with all of these, yoga, same thing. Even at dance classes, okay, you wanna make getting better at dance and dancing the primary reason why you're there. Okay, if you're not really that into it, don't do it. And that's why these things don't work. And the last one I have written down here is dating apps. Dating apps are not the worst place to go, but the way most guys use them makes them the worst place because their profile just isn't good. And by the way, even if you're like, average looking, you can have a great looking profile. If you know how to take a picture, you know how the lighting works. But if you don't, and you're not even trying, you might as well not even use them because most guys don't get good matches on dating apps. Women are getting tired of dating apps because they're not getting success with them either. They get a lot of dates, but just not with men who they like, or the men who they do like, all the women are going for them and they don't get a chance. So if you are a guy who's just average using dating apps and you're not actually putting any work into it, you don't have good pictures, I would recommend that you don't even get on there. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Facebook dating. If you can get on Raya, that's cool. But in my opinion, unless I've worked with a guy and seen his photos, I usually recommend that he spend most of his time in real life. And even if he has a good dating profile, you want to meet women in real life. One of the things that really helps you meet women in real life is leaning into your niche. And if you don't do that, which a lot of the guys who go to these never do, it makes it really worthwhile. But the problem with most guys is they don't really see what makes them attractive. We have to take into account, how attractive am I gonna be in this given environment when I go? And that's what a lot of guys don't do, is they just assume by me going there without having to put any other work into it, I'm just gonna meet women and then, oh, we'll have a connection or we won't. No, this is something that you have to think about yourself. And it's a lot harder for men than it is for women. Women can just show up, but not men. And so what I would do is I would recommend that you don't go to these places. You go to the places that I said that are a bit better, and those tend to work a lot more. Cool, well, if you got a lot out of this, thanks for watching, you guys. If you go to my free school group, you can find a list of places that I do recommend for you. And if you want help with your dating life, for me personally, there's a link down below. Would love to see you there.